White people disrespect us because we have no property. And even Motsepe is not being respected, Patrice Motsepe, by white people, because they've put us all together, that all of them are so poor, they've got no property.
This is the journey to one Africa.
White people disrespect us because we have no property. And even Motsepe is not being respected, Patrice Motsepe, by white people, because they've put us all together, that all of them are so poor, they've got no property. Until someone tells them, no, this is a different black. He's got some mine and, but oh, yeah. But every black person they see, they will not have a respect for that person because we have no property. So even if you have a property, as long as the majority of these ones do not have a property, you will never be respected. That's why you must join the struggle for all to have the property in order for me to get my respect. Because alone, they will never respect me. So, for as long as black people are still looked down because they are propertyless, no single black person will be respected until we are delivered, all of us. It's the EFF that made the youth have interest in politics again. Because the youth of South Africa did not have interest. They had given up. They had said politics do not work for us. And if you want to argue with me, go to universities, go to TVET colleges. 80% in the whole of South Africa, they are governed by EFF student command. Because the youth respond to what makes sense. The youth are not emotional. You can't blackmail them about Nelson Mandela. This youth even doubt if there is Jesus Christ, the youth of today. But who's that dude? What are you talking about? So you can't blackmail them with Nelson Mandela and say Mandela went to jail. They're like, yeah, he went to jail for those things. We're talking now. Makes sense now. And that's why we appeal to the most educated, because in the universities and the TVET colleges is the young intelligentsia, is the thinkers. You have to present, they have to question you, they ought to critique you. They've looked at all political parties and they came to a conclusion that the party that makes sense is the EFF in South Africa, and we, the youth of South Africa, are going to associate with the EFF. So no one can tell us that, no, the EFF, since its formation, it's not relevant. What has the EFF done? Just tell them it has revived the political consciousness of the South African population. Comrades, for 30 years, we have been led by fools. The Tlaela, the Pugu, with no direction, passing each other like Casey and Jojo on stage without an idea of what they are doing. Every time we try to speak, they say, no, we fought for you. What are you saying? We must die because people have gone to exile. We must die because people have gone to prison. We have honored them for that. Past 30 years, we thanked them. 30 years is a lot. We can no longer say thank you beyond 30 years. Now we are looking after ourselves and our own interests, and not who went to exile, not who went to prison. We live now for the future of our children. Economically, we are excluded. Socially, we are excluded. We are jobless. We are homeless. We can't talk about poverty. Children in the Eastern Cape are now beginning to die of poverty. They are dying, literally, dying of hunger in the Eastern Cape. And once it is in the Eastern Cape, it is coming to Northern Cape. If it has not yet arrived in the Northern Cape, we are experiencing the highest form of gender-based violence ever experienced in our lifetime. Yet, this guy, when he started government, he called a summit and said, I'm going to fight gender-based violence. I'm going to defend women. After that summit, a war was declared on women and nothing was done. Because we are led by fools. You must never get tired of reminding them that they are non-thinkers. They do not think. And that's why they've got no solution to the problems that are confronting South Africa. So we have a duty, fighters, to remind these people that we are not going to continue with inequality in South Africa. We are fighting for equality, and we make no apology about it. We want the economy to grow, because the South African economy is not growing. That's why it can't create jobs. That's why it cannot fight poverty, because the economy of South Africa has collapsed. Municipalities have collapsed, all of them. If there is any municipality that is functioning properly here in Northern Cape, that will be a dream. Because there's no such a thing of a municipality that functions in Northern Cape. You know, Zamani, when he came in, he said he was a Marxist. Zamani Sol, he says he's a doctor. Dr. Zamani Sol. We must call him by full names because we're not scared of him. He said, when he was coming as a premier, he was a Marxist. He even went beyond that to define himself as a Pan-Africanist Thomas Sankara. He said he was a Sankara of Northern Cape, that he wants to make sure that he lives like all of us. But he was lying, and he knew he was lying. He's not Sankara, he's not Marxist, he's a con artist, he's a fraudster, he's fake, he's a liar. And the Northern Cape media doesn't expose Zamani for lying on simple things, because majority of them are in the pocket of Zamani and the leadership of the ANC. How can the journalists not hold Zamani accountable on a simple thing like, you said you want to use blue lights. When you become a premier, you said you want to use blue lights. Why are you using blue lights? You said when you become a premier, you are going to sell the state house and then take the money and give children bursaries. You did not sell the state house. You did not give children bursaries. Why did you lie?